Hey, listeners, just a few quick words up at the top to remind you that Flop TV is going on right now. It's the first Saturday of every month. If you want to watch it live and chat with other listeners in the chat, viewers in the chat, send us some messages to be answered, perhaps, at the end of the show. We've been having a lot of fun going through famous bad movies of the decades. All of that will be available video on demand as well for ticket holders up through the end of the Flop TV season. You can get a season pass and watch all of them. You can binge them during the holidays. It's a lot of fun. So if you're interested, go to theflophouse.simpletix.com and check out our extra Flop streams. On this episode, we discuss The Christmas Martian.
The movie that stretches the definition of only 65 minutes.
Hey, everyone, and welcome to the Flophouse. I'm Dan McCoy.
I'm Stuart Wellington.
I'm Elliot Kalin, and it's that time of year again, the happiest time of year, because it's the time we're joined in our annual Christmas visit by that bearded gentleman that we're all waiting to have show up in our houses in the middle of the night, Alonso Duralde, the greatest film critic there is. Alonso, give us, what are the credits you prefer to be used today, and what are you promoting today that you'd like to promote?
I mainly like to be known as a person who breaks into Elliot's house via the chimney, but
Killer of killers.
Let's see. I'm the film critic for The Film Verdict, or one of the film critics for The Film Verdict.
No, you're the one that counts. Yeah.
Oh, stop. Podcast co-host of several shows, including Linoleum Knife and Maximum Film, right here on the Maximum Fun Network, and author of Have Yourself a Movie Little Christmas, now out in a revised and updated edition.
What were the Christmas innovations that occurred?
It's amazing what pops up in 15 years.
Yeah.
There was a crazy amount of new stuff to get to. When I wrote the book in 2010, Netflix was still sending discs in the mail.
Oh my!
So they've really changed the game there. But then there was also a lot of cool older stuff that I just and a pox upon me I didn't know about when I wrote the first go round. So thanks to Turner Classic Movies' pre-Christmas week marathons, I now have a much fuller understanding of Christmas noir that I didn't have before. So there's a bunch of those in there and some other fun stuff.
Are there any old movies where Santa has to solve a mystery?
You'd think, but I think he might be a little too omniscient about that. I mean, he does see you when you're sleeping and know when you're awake, so he also knows when you shiv that guy.
He immediately knows who's been naughty or nice, so there's not a lot of mystery element. That's true.
5-minute mysteries with Santa Claus.
That would be so fun. It's like a Columbo type show. Every week Santa has to solve a mystery, but he figures it out instantly because he sees everything. And then the rest of the episode is just him puttering around.
Yelling at elves.
Yelling at elves. What are you doing over there? Get back to work, slacker.
Yeah, he doesn't realize the cameras are on. And
yeah.
Not so jolly now, are you?
Yeah, it's like that documentary that ruined Shelley Berman's career, but for Santa.
Because Alonso,
that was a joke for Alonso.
Yeah. Because Alonso is the expert, usually he comes with some possible, Xmas.
You're like practice
films.
Trying that one out.
Yeah.
Are you
if you don't pronounce
it, workshop to Alonso for that?
If you don't pronounce it the right way, it doesn't sound great. So.
Yeah.
I'm a pert.
And for this year, he suggested The Christmas Martian, which I was very excited was only 65 minutes long until I watched it.
Yeah. Only's doing a lot of lifting in that sentence.
It certainly felt more interminable than movies, 3 times the length.
It's amazing. So I think it was last year I watched all of The Human Condition, which is like almost 9 hours long, and I found it so captivating. And
it's a lot of fucking dishes for you, buddy.
It sure was. And but watching The Christmas Martian, it was like it felt like time had no meaning, and I was like, "What is going on?" It felt so much harder to get through than 9 hours of something else. So I'm glad to hear that you guys had the same experience. That you guys weren't like, I loved it. It was so fun.
It also didn't help that I had to keep like rewinding like 20 minutes because I realized that nothing that had happened had entered my brain.
Yeah, that's gonna be a real challenge in my summary. So I'm probably gonna rely on you guys. It's that way that like I can sit down and watch like a 2 to 3 hour long movie and I'm like, great, this works perfectly. But if I have to sit down and watch like 3 episodes of the same television show, I'm like, oh no, it's time has no meaning. There's a beginning and end. Every, like time keeps resetting. Like, so that's what this movie felt like every 2 minutes, maybe,
if not more. And what made it even harder for me at first was, so this movie is available on Amazon Prime, but when I started up that version of it, the audio and the video were out of sync. So this movie is so amateurishly done that I didn't know if that was a choice or not. And I was like, so I had to watch the first couple minutes of it before I realized like I gotta test this. So I went to the Tubi version instead. And that one, the audio wasn't synced. And I was like, thank goodness I didn't sit through 65 minutes of this movie with the audio not just out of sync by a couple seconds, out of sync by minutes. So you would have the audio from one scene over the video of another scene. Oof. And there's a part where you can see video tracking lines. Like they clearly transferred this from a VHS. And I was like, well, that's just the Amazon version. Nope, that was on Tubi too. So,
see, now I watched, there's a beautiful Blu-ray of this that came out in the last couple of years from Canadian International. Yes, their Canadian International Pictures label, and I watched the original French in subtitles version.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what Tubi has.
No,
but,
they just have the English dub.
Just the dub, okay. But
it's
as crisp as it's ever going to look.
Exactly,
and Catou is what they call Catherine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a
Martian du Noël. Yeah,
there was a constantly
that's actually the title.
glitching square in the corner of what I watched, where I'm like, "Is that my television? No, it must be this whatever." Decades old VHS they use.
There's certain movies where you just honestly don't know. I remember there's this queer art film from like the 50s or 60s called Pink Narcissus, and it's non-narrative. It's all just sort of this very lush imagery. If you've seen like Pierre Gilles or like those kind of artists that very much influenced, they're like big swaths of like pink silk and glitter and that kind of thing. So
all the music videos in the 1980s, a lot of fluttering curtains.
Yes, Roxy Music was taking notes. So they brought it back to Dallas one time and they screened it for me because I was reviewing for the gay paper there, and they accidentally repeated one of the reels, and I just thought, oh, what a bold choice. And I had to find out later, that's not okay. Well, because in that context, it's like, sure, why not?
It's like the old story of like the abstract painting that's in a museum for years, and then someone comes by and they're like, that's upside down. That's not the way that's supposed to be.
True story. We bought a piece by the artist Tawa Auerbach, and it came with very specific instructions on how and where to get it framed. There's like a place in Los Angeles that does their version of like it has to be this kind of museum level framing, blah blah blah, and they didn't know which side was up until they asked the artist. I was like, this is every hacky joke about contemporary art, and it's true.
And then the artist is like, I don't know, because actually my kid did it.
Yeah, they're like, which side do you think is up?
Oh, man, just tell me.
Speaking of not knowing which way is up, what's going on in the Christmas Martian?
Okay, fine. Let me crack out my 2 note cards. We open in rural Quebec. It's more like a small town. It's not super rural, but it's fairly rural. We meet 2 children, Frankie and Kathy, or Francois and Cateau, who are wandering around a snowy landscape, just 2 figures on a field of white, the colors blown out by time. It is almost like a scene from McCabe and Mrs. Miller.
Yeah, and if we hadn't mentioned it before, this is a French-Canadian production, so I presume we all watched it dubbed, maybe Alonso saw it.
I watched subtitled.
Yeah,
that's how I roll,
Yeah.
I must see the Christmas Martian as the filmmakers intended.
Yes, thank you.
I will have some other questions for Alonso later on.
It was so snowy, I worried I turned on Quintet.
Man, that's the second quintet reference you've made in recent episodes.
I know. It's in my head for some reason.
Yeah, you watch it with the kids.
I just did a Screen Drafts episode about Altman, and quintet is mentioned. It's a spoiler.
Oh, wow.
So they wander into a like a little grocery store, like a convenience store, and while they're talking to the adult there, a Martian wanders into the store, cleverly disguised as a bunch of coats and a hat, and he steals a bunch of.
I think he's just dressed in coats and a hat.
Interesting.
Okay.
I mean,
And
he
kind
does
of
not make
a fishnet body stocking made of green
let's
yarn.
describe the Martian here, guys. He's
Okay,
like
so
a man.
so he's Matt Damon gets stuck on Mars.
Okay, yeah, go on.
Yeah, it's it. He grows potatoes there.
with his own poop.
Yeah, he's. I'm pulling up a picture
So the Martian
that I have of the Martian.
He's a guy. I know he's played by a guy who was like a
I mean,
big
we call
children's
In
entertainer.
my house, we call it Barsoom, by the way.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, yeah, your grandma Deja always called it Barsoom, the old country. She called it. This guy he's wearing just regular winter clothes, right? But over that, yeah, it's literally a fishnet. Like
Yes.
thick yarn
Yeah.
over his whole body, and he looks like a killer in a movie.
A
Like,
giallo, yeah.
And he's got this sort of mesh face
He's
mask.
got a mesh
Yeah.
face mask with holes for the eyes, and then one big
And the
hole that
mouth.
goes over the nose and the mouth. And it
like he
looks,
should be the guy. He's the guy that Hannibal Lecter is helping someone catch.
I
Like that's
was
what he
going to
looks
say,
like.
yeah, this is the James Gum callback outfit. Like I think I got it.
It looks like some kind of Martian fetish gear of some stripe. Like this man.
I feel like putting Martian in it at all is being too charitable.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie throws on Martian the way that like Americans think anyone who speaks Spanish is from Mexico. It's like,
Also, he never says he's from Mars, right? He's just
no,
from another planet.
He says he's very much not from Mars. That it's from a planet that we don't even know where it is yet
Oh.
because we're not advanced enough. So you know,
That is insulting of the filmmakers. Then
pretty racist for the Quebecois, I have to say. Yes.
Do you think they were trying to jump on the Santa Claus conquers Mars bandwagon?
Yes.
Sorry,
Who
Santa Claus
wouldn't?
conquers the Martians. Because
Yes.
that's the only
please,
other one I
Elliot.
can. I
Put
know.
some
I
respect on
apologize.
its name.
I have to respect the debut of Pia Zadora, but it's the only because that's the only other thing I can think of that Santa Claus and Martians put together.
Yeah,
Maybe they
everybody's
weren't
looking
aware
to
of it.
cash in on that action. So,
Yeah,
who
it's
could blame
one
them,
short
really?
of a trend piece.
So the Martian is like stealing food, like sweet food, like whatever
Jelly beans.
jelly beans, candy, confections,
Yeah,
and of course the shopkeeper.
maple-based things of various kinds. Yeah,
The shopkeeper calls the cops, and we learn over time that this is not the first sighting or incident where people are like concerned that there seems to be something strange going on in their town,
in their
There have been-
neighborhood,
yeah, there have
something
been
strange in their neighborhood.
Yep, and don't look good.
Who
I
would
don't
they
know the rest of the
call,
story.
Elliot?
It sure
That's
don't look.
the-
Like, they would.
you
They would
know.
call le Buster du Spectre or de Phantom. Yeah.
So and like like people have seen UFOs flying around in the sky, et cetera, et cetera. So the kids go chasing after this Martian. They follow his footprints in the snow that are green. I couldn't tell that they are green, but we hear that they're green.
The Blu-ray makes it clear that they're green.
Oh,
I'll
you,
give them
thank
that,
you.
I'm
yes.
so glad someone went through frame by frame and restored this.
They're also like they track him. There's like bubbles around, and they find like a giant matchstick that when they strike the matchstick, it launches Kathy up into the sky, and she flies around for a bunch while she's holding the matchstick.
And
Yeah,
they
it's just
shot
also
this
the-
using a real crane that they pull her around on. So
No.
it was the first thrill of the movie where I was like,
No
I'm
way.
worried this kid's gonna fall.
This is the point.
Yeah, John
Where-
Landis isn't the fucking supervisor, right?
I hope not.
Like her brother's constantly yelling, like, "Kathy, you're too high, come down," or whatever. And I'm like, if she had control over this, I think like it's one of these like mini things in like dumb kids movies where it's just like, well, the kid has to be saying something. It's got to be yelling something. And
Like she can't figure this out on her own. No, you see that shot of the little girl like suspended in the air with nothing under her feet, and you're thinking the safety
Terrifying.
standards on this could not have been like up to current standards. Let us say.
Yeah,
Probably not.
The terror in her face real, not acting.
Yeah, no, she's method. The kid, by the way, who plays Francois is the son of the director, by the way.
How'd he get the role?
Yeah.
After a worldwide search.
Yeah. Elliot, don't launch into your rant about nepotism. We don't have time for it.
I'm just Nepo babies are ruining the French Canadian independent film community.
The Mars films.
He auditioned wearing a fake mustache, so his dad never noticed it.
Exactly.
He wrote his name as Joe Hill instead. So no.
Exactly. Do you think Stephen King is just like huge Joe Hill fan and has no idea?
This guy looks exactly like me. Is great.
Weirdly, I dreamed I saw Joe Hill last night.
Oh, that is weird. And maybe Joe Hill has memories. He's like, I remember my mom would go out on dates with a guy named Richard Bachman. Okay, he was always a running man. I don't know that didn't work, but I tried it. I tried it.
He had a problem with the Turner overdrive.
It was a long walk, but it didn't pay off.
Yeah, thank you. So they, at one point while she's hanging in the air, her brother's like, just fall, it's snow, it's soft or something. So she falls and of course does not injure herself.
And is fine, yeah.
There's hard ground beneath that snow.
And snow, when compacted, can get pretty hard.
Yeah. Also, don't matter how soft the snow is, if you're falling from
high enough
20 feet, 30 feet, it'll probably hurt, yeah.
Yeah,
but it's a
even
movie.
if Spider-Man tries to stop you from falling, you
could still snap your neck if he does it by the feet. Yeah, exactly. He's lost a good girlfriend that way.
At least one.
Yeah.
That we know of. I don't know how many he's got stashed in his closet, you know. But this is a kid's movie, so of course she is not mangled or killed.
She's not mangled.
By the fall.
So they eventually find the Martian's UFO. It's like a red saucer that is partially covered in snow, and it's like lodged in a snowbank. They explore for a little bit. They find their way inside when they eventually bump into the Martian himself.
Who will remind everyone is not from Mars, but
not
we'll keep
from Mars at all. He's looks like a weird man in fetish gear, and they after a brief interaction, they bond over a shared love of candy. And they learn that the Martian is stuck there. That he's an alien from a distant galaxy, and that he was exploring or observing planets when his ship crashed, and he needs a part fixed in order to leave.
I think it's important that this movie, much like Oogie Loves would generations later, reminds children that when you meet a stranger, it's always a great idea to go into their vehicle and have candy.
If he seems super nice and normal, right?
He also
upright guy.
Of course. I mean, there's a scene where there's a moment in that scene where he's trying to figure out what language they speak, and he's kind of going through different languages. And in this English dub, at least, to find English, he starts reciting, I think, the Declaration of Independence, and it was like, wait, this isn't yours. Hold on a second.
Yeah, Ellie got very defensive.
Canada has a rich history of their own English language documents that they could have leaned upon.
I assume
here.
I don't know any of them, but they must
Get
have
Guy
them.
Branham in here; he'll tell us all about it.
But I like the idea that they're like swinging for the fences, where they're like, let's use an American thing so that we'll play well in American audiences.
That's where the
when it
money
hits
is.
the multiplexes.
Not reading the Canadian hockey code or whatever.
Yeah, recipe for like maple syrup or Tim Hortons menus or something.
Kind of one of the cool ideas here is the idea that he crafts a beverage that allows them to understand each other.
Yeah.
Again, like kids drink what the stranger gives you, but the idea that it's not just like some mechanical thing, but a liquid, I thought was so groovy.
Because they believe in organic technology that changes the user.
Yeah. I don't know if you've heard of a little Canadian filmmaker, David Cronenberg.
It would be so funny if it was like, this is his earliest work, uncredited.
Yeah, The New Flesh.
The failure of this catapulted him in a different direction.
You can only tell
totally
the one
get him
scene.
do children's movies, but
The one scene when the Martian just chomps down on plastic all the time.
I mean,
There was-
that's our future, buddy.
I was reading something recently that was talking about I think it was them reaching out to David Cronenberg to potentially direct Return of the Jedi. I think maybe after David Lynch had turned them down, and him saying he said something about like I lost it halfway through the phone call.
What would that sound like when David Lynch turned them down?
I don't think it's the right film for me, George. That kind of thing. Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate the invitation and all.
Trust me, I respect what you're doing, but it's not my kind of work. That's the kind of thing he would say. Yeah. Because that's what he said about it. David Lynch was open about it. He's like, yeah, well, I knew it wasn't going to be my movie, so I didn't want to make it. And it's like,
I'm more suited for Dune.
Okay.
I don't really want to work with little bears, George. Not this way, anyway.
Maybe in a dream.
So
here's my pitch. They go to a diner, and George Lucas is like, Dave, there's no diners in Star Wars. And then years later, he put that one diner in episode 2, and David Lynch calls out, George, you told me there were no diners in the Star Wars universe.
Damn it, Lucas.
Okay, so the kids offer to...
It was the lawsuit of Lynch v. Lucas over the ownership of character Dexter Jetster, space diner owner.
So, this doesn't happen yet in the scene, in the movie, but it happens later. But I feel like it's important to bring up the name of the Martian, so I don't just keep calling him the Martian.
Yes.
Now, his name, of course, is in an alien tongue that would be far too difficult for a human to pronounce.
Oh, your tongue would just tear out and fall out of your mouth if you tried to say it, yeah.
Roughly translated into English, it means poo flower. Now, that was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, it was a thing that was in the movie for sure.
Did it wake you up out of your slumber, Dan?
I was just like watching it like, why is this happening? Like, 'cause the movie is not like the movie is so, it's dumb, but it's so innocent otherwise that I'm like, why is there this scatological thing in here that's not like a joke? Like, it's not funny that his name is Pooh Flower.
So is this any different in the original French or Quebecois?
It is. I don't remember the actual phrase, but it's essentially Pooh Flower.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
So they're being true to the OG.
They weren't playing lowbrow for the English audience.
No.
They were respecting the auteur's intention. Yes. I mean, give them credit. They got to the joke before Douglas Adams did of having an alien with an embarrassing sounding name, because that was his whole thing with Slarty Bartfast, the idea that he has a name that he's embarrassed about. So, you know what?
I mean, that's a badass name. I was going to name my firstborn Slarty Bartfast.
Slarty Bartfast is a great name, yeah.
I have to say, as a kid, like, and even now to some degree, but like as a kid, I was like, what? Like, is that like a particularly embarrassing name? Like, I guess it sounds kind of like fart, or like it's got gross sounds in it, but I'm like, what?
Let's go down Adams Avenue to Hitchhiker's Corner, my regular segment where I tell you things about Douglas Adams writing Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I love this segment.
So he wanted a name that sounded like it could be filthy, but wasn't actually, because he was doing this for the radio. And he says in the behind the scenes writings that he started with the name Farty Fuckballs as the name of the character, and then kind of drained it of actual swear words until he got to Slarty Bartfast, something that sounded vaguely vulgar but was not actually vulgar.
Right.
So
okay, yeah. I mean, look, I love the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but for me, that part fell flat. I'm like,
I think Farty Fuckballs was from the original draft of the Christmas Martian. They're like, no, it's for kids. It's for kids.
Come on,
Pooh
guys.
Flower.
What about Pooh Flower? Sure, I guess so.
Fine.
We have 3 names for this Martian we can use: Farty Fuckballs, Sucky Dick Suck, and Pooh Flower. I guess we gotta go with Pooh Flower. Those are the only 3 options. Yeah, those are the 3 options the Canadian Film Board said we could use. We got to pick one of them. All right.
Everything else is already copywritten.
It's pretty copyright. Every other name that exists.
Every other possible name.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry. We tried to clear Clitoris Jones, but it turns out there's a man with that name, so we couldn't do it.
Yeah. He lives in Toronto.
No, damn it.
What about Queen Elizabeth II? No, can't do it. Can't do it.
Can't do it, Sally.
Okay, so the kids offer to help Pooh Flower by, I'm just going to call him the Martian again. I don't know why I brought it up.
Yeah.
They offer to help the Martian.
It certainly meant I got to say a lot of bad words. So that was
their uncle is a welder, so they decide to pile onto a nearby passing sledge and ride across the landscape. Eventually realizing this is going too slow. Well, like a bunch of wood. Wait, is it a bunch of wood? What is it?
Manure.
Manure.
The Martian is like, I don't know what this smell is, but it's certainly vivid. And the girl says, it smells bad, but it sure grows vegetables or something.
Oh, that's right. This really doubles as just a catalog of ways to travel across snow. Every way you can find to travel across snow, somebody does in this movie.
I'd like to commend Stuart at this point, by the way. I commend him and make it clear to the audience that his summary is so much clearer than anything that happens in the film, because the film alternates between low-speed shenanigans that go on forever and cutaways to random people in the town doing bits of business, and it all feels so disjointed.
This is classic. I mean, this is the kind of movie I haven't watched in a long time, where it's like a classic 60s, 70s low-budget film where none of the shots are long enough or they're way too long. And it's clear they didn't get the coverage they needed for scenes. And it's clear that, dialogue – I mean, we're watching the dubbed version anyway, but I assume the dialogue was dubbed in at the last minute, even in the French one, to explain what's going on screen at times. It's just real amateurish stuff. It was kind of refreshing.
Well, welcome to my childhood. I grew up on all the Disney movies that you won't find on Disney Plus because they're just not all that good.
Song of the South, that kind of stuff.
For instance, No Deposit, No Return with David Niven and Darren McGavin and Don Knotts.
Duck or
not
something
on Disney
like
Plus,
that.
$1 Million Duck, exactly. These were the kiddie matinees of my youth.
Yeah.
I mean, with a name like $1 Million Duck, though, that puts butts in seats.
And there's only $1 million duck, and that's Howard.
Wow, Uncle Scrooge is livid.
Well, he's got so much more than $1 million. He would be mad.
He's a billionaire.
Yeah. He would take issue. Okay, so they ride across. They ride across the snow. They realize this isn't going fast enough. So the Martian takes the kids off the sledge and he strikes one of his giant matches, and they fly away. And the adult is like, "What the fuck?"
I'm realizing we don't have to spend a lot of time on it, but we skipped very early on the part where an adult sees the Martian fly away, and he's dressed like Mary Poppins, I guess, for some reason.
Oh yeah, the Martian's in drag at one point, and he calls a cab.
Yeah,
or he's in a phone booth, and a cab shows up. I'm not sure what the connection there is, but
then he just flies away,
like Mary Poppins, and even cocks his legs in that, woohoo! I'm flying away. It's a moment.
I can't remember the order of things. Have we gotten to the part where one guy also who has seen the spaceship talks about how he saw this giant egg, the biggest egg?
This is kind of the interspersed in these scenes with the kids and the Martian. We see the townspeople kind of sharing their suspicions of the strange happenings around town. Usually this is held at the general store. Maybe the sheriff wanders in and puffs his chest out.
It's like the local package store or whatever, where you go and get everything and your drinks and stuff.
I don't feel like we need to dwell on any of those scenes. But
also, like the Warriors, there's a DJ who pops in periodically to let us know that reports of UFOs are a prank.
I just
and
want
also
to acknowledge
the children's parents, where the mother keeps being like, "Our children never came back home for lunch," and the dad's like, "It's fine, it's fine. They're on vacation."
My turkey.
I just wanted to acknowledge the existence of those scenes, but also that scene in particular had me clutching my head a little bit, because I'm like, why is this fucking idiot so fixated on the idea that this was not that just that it looked like an egg, that it was a literal giant egg. And man, if I could get my hands on that fucking egg, I'd have the biggest egg. I'd be so rich in eggs.
All that yolk,
make an omelet like nobody's business.
And also, it's the only flashback in the movie, right? That he's telling a story, and then we flash back to him seeing it. But we know there's an alien in this movie at this point. This is normally in a regular movie. This is what you would show earlier to build up to the idea. That there's something strange in the neighborhood and it don't look good. But here it's happening in the middle when we already know about it. It's just
And also the vast majority of this movie has no music, and except for when it does, which is just the theme music that's like do 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 do, right? Something like that.
Stuart, we don't have the rights to that music.
Oh no! Let me get some what are they beaver bucks? What do they use up there?
They have birds on them. They do have beavers on them too.
Canada jokes
Loonies,
because
Loonies.
Yeah,
we all desperately would like to live there right now.
Yes.
Yeah, it would be great.
Okay, so
shout out to our friend Eric Marzazak, who got while the getting was good and moved from New York to Canada years ago.
So the
Foresight.
adults, as I said, the adults are getting suspicious. They basically form a posse over time to figure this out. So the kids eat a stolen turkey and a whole bunch of candy. They learn about
it was their
new
mother's
Martian
Christmas
friend.
turkey that they took. It's not like they stole it from the store and ate it raw. You know,
I mean, we know that he's not above stealing, so that's
that's true.
fine.
They didn't
His
steal a
concept of
live turkey
property
off
is
a
different.
farm and then tear it apart in a sort of Suddenly Last Summer type massacre. You know.
Yeah. Is that the second Suddenly Last Summer reference you made recently? I
Yeah,
think
because
so.
we did it. We recently did our live shows in Chicago, and I also made a Suddenly Last Summer.
Okay.
reference. For some reason, Suddenly Last Summer and a Quintet have been on my mind quite a bit. So I don't know why. You know.
Tell
So-
your therapist.
I like my
We
entire.
procured for him.
I would say the majority of my therapy appointment this week was based on me having seen a movie, which is not uncommon in my
The
therapy
Christmas
sessions.
Martian?
It
Yeah.
was I was like, Doc, can you kill me? Can you do the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind treatment for me, please? So I
Just for this
forget
movie.
Wipe it right out.
Yeah.
I know what you suddenly did last summer. Is that anything? I don't know.
It's could be. Yeah, I mean, the audiences that would get either side of it don't match at all.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of the
by
Venn
the year.
diagram here.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, it's just Alonso.
I feel like the
knows-
only way you can
knows-
test this theory, Dan, is to like make it into a one-panel gag comic or something.
Yeah.
But does
Only
Dan
if
have the
there's a
technology to
flick
do
tape.
that?
Yeah. Send it into to the New Yorker. New Yorkers looking for shit like that.
Yeah, that's what they love.
Don't they have like a little comic contest? You could win that
A
shit.
little
with-
comment.
Okay, so
Dan, why don't you just stick that in as the caption of whatever panel they've got in their contest?
sure.
Yeah.
with a newly fixed and cleaned of snow UFO, they managed to fly this flying saucer and they go for a little ride around the world, not without a couple of false starts and hiccups, like when they're clearing the snow off and they almost take off and they almost all die, but luckily they don't.
Is this the part where they go to the desert?
I think so. Yeah.
Because there's
Yeah,
like,
the
there's
Sahara,
like, oh
yeah.
look, it's the Sahara Desert, and they're like, wow, and then there's just like a static scene of them staring out the fake window where there's like green screened in like just dunes, sand dunes, as it lingers so long.
It's worth noting that the UFO is a TARDIS and that it is way bigger on the inside than it would appear to be on the outside. On the outside, it looks like a really cool, like early 70s, like the sort of light fixture you would have hanging over the dining room table.
Yeah.
You thought so? I thought it kind of looked like an egg.
It also
Like a really
It
big
actually looks
egg.
nothing like
If
an
I
egg.
had
Now
that
that you
egg.
mention it, no.
We should mention also that this flying saucer has a long antenna on the top that you never really see the top of because it's clearly the wire that it is hanging
That's-
from.
Yes.
I was going to ask whether that was intended to be the antenna, and that's how they're getting away with the most egregious wire that I have ever
Yes.
seen.
Yeah, because it's the same. They're using the same crane that they yanked that young girl around with.
Yeah, they
I-
rented
I
it for the
love-
day. You got to use it for other things.
I love my
sure.
husband. He just opened the MoMA Design Store website.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
Yeah,
here
that's
is
it.
the Nelson saucer bubble from Herman Miller light fixture. And yeah, that's exactly what this thing looks like.
Have your own little Christmas Martian in your house.
In red, yeah, it's
Yes,
red. That's
in red.
for the Christmas collection.
yeah.
Okay, so they take
the
a
MoMA
ride.
Christmas collection.
They take a ride around the world.
Around
they,
the world, around the world.
They while
Better
they're
aliens in that one. Yeah.
they return to their town and like the kids look out the
he
windows.
tells them they're taking a ride around the world. He's just showing them images on a video screen. It's possible they're not going anywhere.
It's-
He's just
yeah,
showing them
kids are
clips.
dumb.
It's like a Disney dark ride,
Yeah, it's like a Nathan Fielder bit. So they are flying over their Quebecois town. They're pointing out things they know. They point out the road that leads to Grandma's house, which I feel like expands the universe of this movie considerably.
Well, they're opening it up for a spin-off sequel. Yeah.
The Martian and the Grandma.
world building.
They say goodbye. They wander off into the night to return home.
Oh, wait, I should say, before you go, I will
Please.
say, the part where they're excited to see their own hometown, that was the one moment in the movie that I genuinely really liked a lot. That these kids, he's like, this is Antarctica. Here's this desert. But then seeing their own town from above seemed genuinely thrilling to them. They're like, oh, yeah, there's the road there. And I thought that was I don't know if they meant it that way, but that felt like a richly observed, the idea that like, yeah, the thing they're most excited about is seeing where they live but just from a different angle.
And this movie came out, by the way, the same year as Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, which at the end of the movie, of course, they're looking down from the Great Glass Elevator to see their own town. So,
that was the big competition
Bavaria for some reason.
That was the competition in the theaters. They're like, who's going to win the weekend? Christmas Martian or
there's
Willy
a competition
Wonka?
at Cannes or
We got to delay the release of Willy Wonka by 3 weeks. We don't want to get stepped on by the Christmas Martian.
Yeah. So the kids leave right in time for the posse to arrive. So the Martian's looking out his view screen and he sees just like a sea of foreboding lights heading in his direction. It looks like all like snowmobiles, which there was briefly a little confusion because the kids stole a snowmobile earlier. Do you remember that?
They kept stealing the welder's stuff. Their welder uncle, they kept stealing his things, then bringing them back. And the police officer would be like,
it's
you
right
said
there.
It was stolen. Exactly. And now it's back. Arrest someone. You know. But I thought the shot of the snowmobiles all coming from the darkness. That was
very, very Mad Max. Yeah,
very Mad Max. That was genuinely. I liked it. No, but it was a little scary, and I was like, all right, okay, this is a better shot from a different movie where it's like evil snowmobilers.
Suddenly, it's the Oxbow incident.
I want to talk about this moment
the Oxbow Martian.
At this point, like the Martian can leave in his ship, but he sees these people coming out, and he's like, their more friends are coming to say hi or whatever. Like he goes out. And
because he represents the spirit of fun, Dan.
Right. But then this posse starts chasing him around, and the fucking Martian doesn't just like get back in his goddamn ship and take off. He like runs around the snow for a long time.
His power is like a god.
The point at which I texted Alonso saying that I hate him. I hate this idiot.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
He is so advanced that he has nothing to fear from these primitive humans.
Dumbass Martian.
And they've moved so far beyond like hate and violence on his planet that he just assumes this is like a Lollapalooza. Like he doesn't read bad intent into it at all.
Much of the movie was the kids showing him different winter sports and ways to have fun in the snow. So maybe he just thinks it's another one. Yeah,
true. So he leads them
so on. If he's like, let's chase everybody, and they just shoot him and gun him down, and at the end of it is the Martian lying in the snowbank bleeding to death, like at the end of McCabe and Mrs. Miller, and the kids are at home being like, wow, I hope we get to see the Martian again, and he's just dead, and the snow slowly covers his body.
Yeah, and we're like, wow, they really build a community out there in the frontier.
The kids put the church fire out.
You'll see him again come springtime.
I'm glad you could restore my faith and my own empathy, because as much as I hate that Martian, I was like, oh, no.
You don't want to see him gunned down. No.
No, not with like crazy 70s technology. It's horrifying.
No, they shot Pooh Flower. No, he was the best of us.
So the kids return home. Their father puts on his Santa outfit to surprise the kids and give them presents. And he starts giving them presents. And
doesn't go down the chimney because he's seen Gremlins. He knows that's a mistake.
He does, yeah. He has that part queued up on his VHS tape.
You can see into the future.
He is distracted briefly, and he leaves the room. And then Pooh Flower shows up, also dressed as Santa Claus. And then the father returns, and there's a big confusion. And then a bunch of cops show up and arrest both of them because they can't tell who is who.
Martians. Yeah.
They
These
assume
cops
both.
have never, considered the idea that they could take the fake beard off of these two and see which one the Martian is.
Not these days anymore.
For all they know, maybe these are Jewish policemen. They don't know who Santa Claus is. They think this is what Martians look like.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
Yeah, this was on Michael Chabon's script,
Canadian
right?
Jewish. Well, exactly. That's where I was going with this.
So they're both arrested. They ride in the back of a cop car with the chief of police, who looks like a pig in a sty. He's so happy, and but then the Martian just disappears from the back of the car, and then I guess it's the end of the movie. What happens? I don't remember.
Notes at this point just say flies away?
Question mark. What do they do? I don't remember.
I think he just leaves, right?
I think he just leaves, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
You had two extra note cards to fake us out there.
Yeah.
And there's no text at the end that says whether the dad was found guilty of being a Martian and sent to jail or anything like that.
Well, they had to cut him open to find out. They determined not a Martian.
Determined up. Well, we got good news and bad news. Good news, we dropped the charges. Bad news, your father is just in his constituent parts now.
Yeah.
You know?
No, bad news is we can only do it once.
Human. Bad news is
and it's hard for the Martian to get home because as a Christmas gift, he has given the kids the model of his UFO that I think they used for some of the shots.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know how he's going to get away now that they have the craft
off camera.
Alonso, do you know anything about this movie that you can tell? Like, I seem to, from poking around the internet, it seems like maybe it's a minor like cult film in Canada.
Yeah, I think
the holidays.
It's the kind of movie that they would run on Canadian TV. Like, Dave grew up in New Hampshire, and he said he remembers seeing it as like on offer as a kiddie matinee up there because that's very near the border. So, I believe this is a beloved Canadian film, and it occupies an interesting little corner of history because they ran out of money, and this producer named Rock.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
It looks like it's all up on screen.
every centime of it.
All the loonies are up there, eh?
This producer named Rock Demers came in to sort of help finish it, and he winds up becoming this kind of the Canadian Disney in terms of like he has this company called Les Productions La Fête, which makes all of these bananas live action kids movies. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of the Peanut Butter Solution.
Okay.
Or like Jacob Tutu and the Hooded Fang and Tommy Tricker and the Stamp Traveler. Like
Jacob Tutu and the Hooded Fang is I've never seen the movie and I've never read the book, but
I read the book.
It was listed as one of the books in a back of a book I had as a kid. It listed as another book available from the publisher, and I was like, "What is this book about? Like, what is a hooded fang?"
I wish I could tell you, having read it, but I just remember it being weird.
I remember as a kid assuming, like, I guess he gets a pet cobra or something, but I never went all the way to actually read it. So maybe
I have not watched that one. I need to, but anyway, but this is the beginning of his career as a kid film producer. Thanks to the Christmas Martian, we eventually get down the road to Jacob Tutu and the Hooded Fang. This is, I think this is in that category of like, what's that? There's also that Canadian TV special where Gilda Radner voices a witch. That's like a Halloween.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Witches
Halloween favorite up there.
something.
Or the Witches something, yeah. I don't know that it's really made it to the lower 48 as much as a cult item, but that was before this episode was recorded. So clearly now I think the avalanche begins. And I think Riff Tracks did this one a couple years ago.
That would make sense, yeah.
I was going to recommend this to the Mystery Science Theater people should they do more episodes, and then I saw that Riff Tracks did one of it, and I'm like, all right, never mind, it's been taken care of. Because it just I realized one of the reasons I hadn't seen a movie like this in a long time is that this is the kind of thing I would watch. I would see only on Mystery Science Theater 3000. Where something where otherwise it would not have fallen into my lap because it didn't reach the level of professionalism that made it to Milburn, New Jersey.
Well, and something with a lot of natural space for jokes to fill.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's made for it.
But these are the worst. Speaking from experience, when you get a movie that just has like 3 minutes with no dialogue and you're like, oh, damn it. what are we going to say? They're just running around in the snow. They're doing nothing. Like
Time for another political rant.
I will say this. Like there's something about a kids movie that not only feels like it was made for kids, but it was made by kids.
That's true.
It really feels like the Frankie and Catherine are like sitting there going, okay, now what happens? And then what? And then he does this,
It has the feeling, of like, that's the best thing you can say about it is it's interminable for an adult, but it has the feel of a story kids are making up, or even that the kids have the camera and are just like shaking it around and things like that. And I have to admit, compared to the talk of The Office where I am has been the live action Moana trailer. And compared to something like that, I think I kind of prefer the Christmas Martian in some ways.
There's no green screen.
Yeah. Oh, no. It's all up. This is all reality. Yeah. That kid is really way too high in the sky.
Their feet. Yeah.
So let's do final judgments, whether this is a good, bad movie, a bad movie, or a movie we kind of like. I'm going to say, I think I texted some variant of this to Stuart, that any like 3 minutes isolated of this movie is hilarious. But if you watch all 65, it's interminable. Like, it would be a great thing if you're looking for something weird to put on in the background of your holiday party on mute. Like if you're the kind of person to do that sort of thing, this was
Which feels like 50% of Dan's acquaintances and friends.
yeah. I recommend it for that use and that use alone. I would say it's a bad movie because it really tried my patience, but it's, it's got its charms.
It tried your patience. Did it want to buy?
No.
Oh, that's too
I
bad.
mean, my patience is pretty small. So.
They got it on Amazon instead.
Yeah. Now, I mean, this is a monstrous movie, but I mean, I feel like this is very much a bad movie, but with the caveat, I feel like with the right audience of bad movie sickos, if you are doing a bad movie night that is Christmas themed, I could see this one being a fun one to watch with people and watch people squirm and get annoyed and check their phones for 65 minutes. That feels like an eternity. But no, I would say this is a bad movie.
I agree with you guys that I think it is this is a bad movie for solo viewing. But yeah, if you wanted to use it to, if the thing you want to watch is the effect it has on somebody else, then it's a good bad movie for that. But I feel like by the end of our discussion, I kind of talked myself into liking the concept of it as a low budget for kids, really dumb, little movie. But it is not. I wouldn't recommend watching it or showing it to people unless you want to see them be uncomfortable. Yeah.
I actually watched this movie and then immediately watched Zardoz for the first time to prepare for Flop TV, and I'm like, what a day I'm having.
What a time to be alive.
Alonso, what do you say?
I mean, I can't disagree with anything you're saying, and I do say this probably plays best if you're in a situation where you're with people who are enjoying its badness and you can talk to each other during the slacker parts of it. But ultimately, I mean,
which is like 75 to 85% of it.
But ultimately, I have to kind of say this is a movie I kind of like just because I was 4 years old in 1971. And so I recognize the shape of this sort of misbegotten children's entertainment that was just the coin of the realm of the early 1970s. And I could see where if you were a kid and you saw this at Christmas time, it'd be the sort of thing that you would want to go back to every year. And then maybe as an adult at one point go, oh God, this really isn't very good, is it? But there is something so on Project Runway, Heidi Klum used to always use the term home sewn as kind of a disparaging thing. But there's something home sewn about this movie. It literally just feels like some people who are not in any way in the show business were like, let's make a kid's film with these things that we have handy and all of this damn snow. And so, on that level, I think it kind of works. But yeah, it is a tough sit by yourself, no question.
Yeah, it's hard to, I like the idea of it more than I like it. But I will say, in a world where the problem is that things are too slick and soulless and kind of like ultra polished in terms of like AI and professional entertainment, things like that, there's something I do find appealing about this is the dumbest, roughest, cuttest, most slapped together type thing. There is a
there were no studio notes involved in the making of this film.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody was like, how do we get it to be 4 quadrants? I think they were like, how do we get enough film to get it up to 65 minutes?
Yeah. Alonso, now I kind of want to see the judges from Project Runway give their takes on this movie. If only I want to see Tim Gunn be nice. I want to see Nina Garcia be, I don't know, unhappy. And I just want to see Law Roach's face. I want to see his displeasure, or maybe he'd love it.
Yeah, I at least want to hear their thoughts about the Martian's fishnet bodysuit,
Yeah.
I do want to acknowledge
they were handed a fishing net, and Tim Gunn said, "Make it work. Come on, make it work."
We've navigated Elliot's now long ago move to LA as best we can. We've done what we could for that, and I think it's not really affected that much, except for that watching a bad movie alone is never the ideal way to experience them. So I think that probably the level of bad ratings has gone up since then, simply because the three of us aren't all watching these movies together and having a grand old time.
Certainly, I think that's a good point. Certainly, I enjoy these movies much less when I'm by myself, and also I only have time to watch these movies and no other movies in between. That's, I think, what makes it harder
like user error on life there, buddy.
Oh boy, is it ever. Yeah.
Hello?
Hello, I'm calling on behalf of the Beef and Dairy Network podcast.
No, I'm sorry. No sales calls. Goodbye.
It's a multi-award-winning podcast featuring guests such as Ted Danson, Nick Offerman, Josie Long.
I don't know what a Josie Long is, and anyway, I'm about to take my mother into town to see Phantom of the Opera at last. You are wasting my time, and even worse, my mother's time. She only has so much time left. She's 98 years old. She's only expected to live for another 20 or 30 years. Mother, get your shoes on. Yes, the orthopedic ones. I don't want to have to carry you home again, do I?
Right, well, if you were looking for a podcast...
Mother, you're not wearing that, are you? It's very revealing, Mother. This is a musical theatre, not a Parisian bordello.
Simply go to MaximumFun.org.
I'm reaching for my Samsung Galaxy 4 as we speak. Mother! Mother, not that hat!
Have you been looking for a new podcast all about nerdy pop culture? Well, I have just the thing for you. Secret Histories of Nerd Mysteries.
Secret Histories of Nerd Mysteries is a weekly pop culture history podcast hosted by me, host Alston.
And me, host Brenda. We've already tackled mysteries such as what happened to the puppets from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Is Snoopy Mexican? And why do people hate Barney so much?
From theme parks to cartoons to 80s, 90s, and 2000s nostalgia, we tackle it all.
Check us out every Tuesday on MaximumFun.org and wherever you get podcasts.
The internet. We are all on it all the time. You need to be on it all the time. It's so important these days. And have you ever needed to start like a small business or something? You know what you need? A website. You know where that website lives? On the internet. And you know who can help you with that website? That's right. Our sponsor today, Squarespace. Now, Squarespace provides a platform for you to set up your website, and it gives you every tool you need to run your small business website, whether it's creating the website itself, the look, the feel, getting your hands in the dirt of this website. Perhaps you're a person who needs to see examples of something before you actually, you can't create it whole cloth from the matter in your brain. Maybe you need, so they provide templates that are created by professional artists that give you a sense of what that website you are creating is going to look like. And if you need to do business, well, they give you all the tools you need to sell stuff, invoice people, take payments, all that stuff. And also, hey, do you need a schedule? I need a schedule. That's what the internet's for, creating schedules. You can create a schedule on that website thanks to Squarespace. So you need to head to squarespace.com/flop for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch that website, use offer code FLOP to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Thank you, Stuart. And speaking of whole cloth, we're sponsored in part today by Quince. You know, things are getting colder. There's a lot of holiday stuff going on. So you need some wardrobe staples that are going to look sharp and feel good and keep you warm, you know. From Mongolian, let's take that again. From Mongolian cashmere sweaters to Italian wool coats, Quince pieces are crafted from premium materials and built to hold up without the luxury markup. They got great outerwear, down jackets, wool top coats, and leather styles built to last. That's what you're going to need in these cold, cold months. Each piece is made from premium materials by trusted factories with rigorous standards for craftsmanship and ethical production. Quince delivers these beautiful products at an affordable price by cutting out the middlemen and traditional markups. So, you know, I got one of these Quince pieces. I got a cashmere sweater, a charcoal color. It's been very comfy. It's something that I can put on that's sort of easy to wear, but also looks sharp. I have enjoyed it. So get your wardrobe sorted and your gift list handled with Quince. Don't wait. Go to quince.com/flop for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada, too. That's QUINCE.com/flop. Free shipping and 365-day returns. That's a full year. Quince.com/flop. Also, we have a pair of jumbotrons.
I just say, Dan,
one,
before you get to that, if Quince is available in Canada, Martians no longer need to wear fishnets. They can now wear real clothes.
Important clarification for you Martians out there. And also, thank you. I was going over Canada. I'm like, oh, I should have said something about the Martian movie that we watched. Anyway, Jumbotron. Polyamateur Hour is like the Flophouse if the hosts were in a musical comedy polycule. So it's nothing like the Flophouse, but it is in the good bad column. Join Nicole, Laurel, and Daniel for a funny, filthy variety show with segments such as Unicorn Hunter Hunters and Is This Polly? Monogamous folks love it too, but they love only one host at a time. So why listen to helpful polycasts when you could shotgun chaos Muppet energy with Poly Amateur Hour? There will be jingles. Listen to Poly Amateur Hour wherever you get your podcasts.
We also have a personal Jumbotron. That's a Jumbotron that's for a person from another person or people. And this Jumbotron is for Evelyn Ann, and it comes from Jonathan, Fletcher, Ian, and Oscar. And it says, Happy 15th anniversary to my amazing wife. You're my best friend and the most amazing travel partner anyone could ask for. You've made a Cuisin art, if you will, of bringing joy to everyone you encounter. We are very blessed. What a sweet message. That's so lovely. Now to go from that sweet message to some more crass commercialism, because we got some Flophouse things to promote as well. That's right. As you may know, Flop TV continues apace. The government tried to shut us down, but we said no. Every first Saturday of the month, we are doing our live 1-hour televised type version over the internet of the Flophouse. It's Flopster Piece Theater this season. We're doing some of the biggest, most famousest flops, or most legendariest flops, I should say. And the next episode, as we're recording this, but I think when this episode airs,
I think it will have been done, but you can still talk about it.
I'm unstuck in time. Well, our December episode was Zardoz. That's right. On December 6th, we talked about Zardoz.
Hilarious.
It was hilarious. January 3rd, we'll be talking about Dr. Dolittle, the 60s version. And February 7th, we'll be talking about Plan 9 from Outer Space. That's live on the internet, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific each time. But let's say you can't make it at that time. Don't worry. If you have a ticket to a Flop TV show, you can watch the recording of it as many times as you want through the end of February. So go to theflophouse.simpletix.com. Again, that's theflophouse.simpletix.com. Buy yourself individual tickets or get the season pass. That's 6 shows for the price of 5. Do it. It's like you're stealing money from us. You know you want to. It's the thrill of crime, like in the movie Pickpocket. Anyway, we got another show that I want to say. That's an in-person show. The Flophouse is returning to San Francisco Sketchfest for SF Sketchfest 2026. We're going to be appearing on Sunday, January 25th. It's an afternoon show, 4 p.m. Pacific time, in person. So you know what? You can still go to work on Monday, and you won't be too tired from our show. So come on by Sunday afternoon, January 25th, in the San Francisco Sketchfest. We'll be at Cobb's Comedy Club again. I love performing at Cobb's. Great. It's a really fun comedy club to be at. Go to sfsketchfest.com, I think. Let me double check that. Yes, it's just sfsketchfest.com for more information. And I just want to remind everybody, I got a book out right now. That's right. Joke Farming, How to Write Comedy and Other Nonsense from the University of Chicago Press, written by me. It's got all of my joke writing secrets. Shh, don't tell anybody. You can learn how to write jokes the Elliott Kalin way if you buy the book, and it's available anywhere books are sold. So go buy it. Thank you.
Let's answer some letters from listeners. This first letter comes from Aaron, last name withheld, who writes, like many a millennial, whatever combination of literacy and interest that turns one into a reader, trademark sign, earlier in life, has completely atrophied for me. I used to be a reader, and now I can't honestly say that I am. The shame. I've decided on a plan, though. Get back into reading through film criticism. Can you recommend columns, books, articles, or newsletters about film that are well-written and genuinely fun enough to rival flicking through brain-rotting short-form video content on my stupid phone? So, again,
yeah, I was just reading about the study that said that flipping through short-form video content, the effect on your brain is bad.
Yeah.
That literally you're worse at everything afterwards.
So I'm going to recommend a website. I love it. I hope it goes on a million years. It has some really great, thoughtful criticism. It's called The Dissolve.
Oh,
it's never stopping.
No. Stuart.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Although, I mean, we should recommend, of course, The Reveal, a newsletter from a couple of the Dissolve folks, Keith Phipps and Scott Tobias. And Keith was kind enough to come out to our Chicago live shows.
Yeah.
That's a great newsletter for Alonso. I'm sure has thoughts on.
I mean,
film
I feel like
criticism.
Alonso's work is itself I always enjoy, and I always find
It's convenient
both
that Alonso
thoughtful and
was
well
on.
written.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to shamelessly recommend my husband's new newsletter on the Ghost site called Sluggish at sluggish.ghost.io. And it is film criticism, but also he writes about food or art or music or whatever he has a mind to. And, I've always been a fan of his prose. And I think he is not here to bum you out with talk about contemporary politics. So if you're looking to avoid that lane entirely, I think you'll enjoy what you see at Sluggish. And then, of course, Justin Chang over the New Yorker doing a bang-up job. He's got a Pulitzer in his pocket, and the other one is playing a piano. I don't know. I lost my Alanis Morissette there. But anyway, he just wrote a really great takedown of Wicked for Good that made me feel less alone in the world. So
I was just reading that yesterday.
If you don't mind reading older criticism, I mean, like there are great new critics on the site as well, but like all of Roger Ebert stuff is at rogerebert.com, and like you can, there's a reason why he was a beloved critic. He's a very like personable, like fun writer.
And also, obviously, if you're on Letterboxd, you should read Dan's Letterboxd reviews.
well.
He's a very good Letterboxd reviewer.
Yeah, they
thank
call him
you.
his generation's Paul Schrader.
I feel like, but the thing is, I feel like Dan does give thoughtful reviews, whereas like I'll do like
Sometimes.
one fucking line or joke, and I feel like that seems to be there's like such a aspirational trend at this point of like, can I come up with the best one-liner to describe this movie? And it really overlooks the impact of real thoughtful film writing or just writing on art in general can have on your enjoyment and also your willingness to check out stuff you might not. I listen to a lot of heavy metal music, and part of the reason that I explore so much and I make it almost like a hobby is that I have found a couple of blogs that I really love, and I really love these writers, and like reading critical writing on something like music, or like having somebody describe something that isn't just words, like describing, like music and writing are so different, and like writing and images can be very different. Like it's just an interesting, like seeing somebody try and describe the feelings you get while watching a movie, or like, I don't know. I just think it's really interesting, and I feel like it's becoming less valued in our current culture.
I wanted to recommend 3 books that are not necessarily film criticism, but are about movie making, that if you haven't read, or if you want to get your eyes off of a screen and onto paper, unless you're reading them, I guess, as ebooks or whatever. But I'm sure Alonso's probably read all of these. You guys might have read them too. But The Devil's Candy by Julie Salomon, which is a great book about the making of Bonfire of the Vanities. Picture by Lillian Ross, which is a great book about the making of The Red Badge of Courage, where you do not gain respect for John Huston by the end of the book. But it's a really fascinating book. And also When the Shooting Stops, the Cutting Starts by Ralph Rosenblum about film editing. And those are just 3 great books about movies, and
I would throw in
written well as well.
Stephen Bach's Final Cut also about
that
the making of Heaven's Gate.
I was going to mention that too, and I'm like, is 4 books too many? But the Final Cut is also fantastic.
Oh, and you know what? Because we're going to do Dr. Dolittle in a couple of months for Flop TV. Pictures at a Revolution is a great book.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's also a great book.
It deals with, one of the things it deals with is Dr. Dolittle and the death of like old Hollywood filmmaking through that movie.
Speaking of Mark Harris, his Mike Nichols biography is really great.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
I have to read that one. And I'll recommend another one is The Studio by John Gregory Dunn, right?
John
Philip Dunn. Yeah,
Seth Rogen, yeah.
Where he basically was just wandering around. Yes, that's right. He was just walking around 20th Century Fox for like a year and just writing about what's going on and what it's like there. And it's so, I found there's so much in it that is about the making of their Dr. Doolittle's coming up. It's going to be our big release. We got to get rid of Dr. Doolittle. And there's like a page and a half where they're like, we're going to make this movie about apes, whatever. And I'm like, they have no idea that movie is going to be a huge hit and Dr. Doolittle's going to be a fiasco. Like,
also, while we're going down this rabbit hole, there's a really fun book called Roadshow about the age of the elephantine 1960s musicals and how they basically almost destroyed Hollywood because everybody was chasing the dragon of Mary Poppins and Sound of Music, and like every studio sank a fortune into these huge behemoth roadshow intermission musicals at a time when the kids just wanted to see Easy Rider.
Yeah. I will recommend a book, Kyle Buchanan's Blood, Sweat, and Chrome about the making of Mad Max Fury Road. It's really fun, and it's like it is one of those things where you're like, not only do I love the movie, but also it really imparts that feeling of like, yeah, this movie shouldn't have gotten made probably, and we'll probably never see something like this again.
No, it's amazing when you're reading a book about a movie and you know the movie was made. That's why you're reading the book. But every turn of the page, you're like, there's no way they're going to be able to do this. Like, this is impossible.
Someone's going to die.
Tom Hardy's involved.
I also want to put on my Dave Berg hat and the lighter side of film criticism. Just because
everyone's favorite Mad Magazine article, the lighter side of
this writer was, asking for like, also some short and engaging stuff. Nathan Rabin has been a big supporter of the podcast over the years, and he does a lot of very funny, like sillier projects like we might do here on our show.
His new book, The Fractured Mirror, is about to come out, which is a terrific look at American movies about movie making. And so if you're looking for something that you want, like some short hits that you're not going to get mired in the middle of a real long chapter, that's the ticket, and it's really sharp and fun film writing.
But let's move on to.
I feel like that's the most time we've ever spent answering a question.
And I think we could spend, like a lot longer. But Andrew, last name withheld, writes this.
Would you recommend books about movies? No.
Oh, here we go again.
Based on a recent letter, I knew I had to provide some additional reporting. In 2008, I got to go on the study abroad trip of my dreams. We spent a month living on the Galapagos Islands, learning about its human and natural history.
Oh.
There was a cute one-room schoolhouse on the island where we'd take lessons right next to the beach. It was the only inhabited island because it had a dormant volcano that collected a major source of fresh water. The volcano seemed cool, so I got two friends to ditch class one day, bike across the island, and hike up to the volcano to the lake. We spent an idyllic morning swimming around the warm water in the caldera, then took a break to eat Ecuadorian Oreos on the shore. Suddenly...
Wait. I want to know how Ecuadorian Oreos are different than domestic Oreos.
Yeah.
All these little details. Suddenly, this jaunty old white guy with a coterie of 8 to 10 young women came marching down the volcano straight towards us. He started chatting us up and seemed a bit zany. The women, young American students...
He told us he was a Martian. He was wearing a fishnet He was wearing a fishnet of some kind.
He took our jelly beans.
The women, young American students, didn't really say anything. They just kind of followed him and sat looking as he pontificated to us. He then started saying, "This is a beautiful place, but whatever you do, never go swimming in freshwater in the Galapagos." He said there's, quote, "small brain-eating worms in the water, and for God's sake, whatever you do, don't swim in there."
I'm wondering which horrible person in the news this guy's going to turn out to be.
I was kind of rolling my eyes at the strange man who started lecturing us about brainworms when my friend, who had been kind of quiet since this guy showed up, suddenly asked, "Are you Patch Adams?" And he said, "Yes, of course. That's why I know about these brainworms. Anyway, it's time for me to go." As he and
he then teleported out.
As he and the young women...
The red clown nose should have been the tip-off.
Yeah.
As he and the young women left, they kept saying, "Don't get brainworms." I was stunned and now actually kind of worried that a doctor had told me I was going to get brainworms, but also because it was apparently Patch Adams. I turned to my friend who had identified him and was like, "How did you know that was Patch Adams?" He told me that at the University of Illinois, there's one dorm that's kind of the hippie dorm, and they have various artists in residence who live with the students. And Patch was a recurring guest who apparently had a reputation of sharing his weed. We then spent the next few weeks on the Galapagos logging many more rapid, weird encounters with Patch and his group of young ladies. We'd emerge from a hiking trail right when their bus happened to be driving by, and they would see us and shout, "Brainworms!" Or we'd be at a restaurant, and they would all happen by and shout, "Brainworm boys!" Later, we encountered them swimming on a different island and asked, "Aren't you all worried about the brainworms?" And Patch Adams was like, "Oh no, it doesn't affect me." Were they just fucking with us about the brainworms, or does Patch really have ultimate healing powers? So that's another Patch Adamantium update for you from Andrew, last name withheld.
I feel like it raises so many more questions than it answers.
Get the director of Health and Human Services on the horn.
Yeah. Anyone knows about brainworms. Yeah.
certainly become the number one Patch Adams anecdote podcast on the internet.
If people have stories about Patch Adams, write in. Tell us your Patch Adams. I want to hear more.
Are we
going to
have to fucking watch Patch Adams on this show?
I think we're going to have
That's
to
the
eventually watch
culmination
Patch
of it.
Adams. Yeah.
Now, I also want to make it clear, these are all secondhand stories that I'm just reporting along.
We're not looking for Richard
we haven't
Simmons over
independently
here.
confirmed any of them.
I mean, if you're Patch Adams, write in and tell us, what were you doing in the Galapagos with a bunch of young women telling people about brainworms?
What's your secret on avoiding brainworms? Do you have to vibrate your skull at a specific frequency?
Send it to our government. Perhaps. Anyway, that's our recurring segment, Tales of Patch Adams.
Tales from the Adams Patch.
He is alive. I'm just checking his wiki page. He's 80 years young.
If you were immune to brainworms, you'd be alive too.
Yeah.
It's the number one cause of death is brainworms. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's him.
Let's move on to.
It's so funny if he's like, someone's like, "Who are you?" And then he puts the red nose on. And they go, "Patch Adams." Or he's gonna go roll big, so he takes the red nose off, and nobody knows who he is.
So let's move on to recommendations, movies that may be a better use of your time than The Christmas Martian.
So I saw this movie about this doctor who thought laughter was the best medicine. It was called Dr. Giggles.
So this, I'd like to recommend a movie called PTU. It's
with Jeremy Piven.
No, that's PCU.
It's PT, so it's Jeremy Tiven.
Yeah,
Paul Thomas.
I kept thinking,
Paul Thomas Anderson.
I would look at this title, by the way, and I keep thinking paid time off. But PTU, it's on the Hong Kong collection on Criterion right now. It's directed by Johnny To. It's 88 minutes long. It's one of these sort of crime movies about, cops being just as bad and dumb as the criminals and sort of events spiraling out of control. It's kind of a one crazy night cop thriller in that way. I'll admit that like some of the machinations of the plot got a little convoluted for me to keep track of like who was mad at who for what, but it didn't matter. It just was like kind of a pleasure to be in the world. Like I'm gonna sound like the old man that I increasingly am and also have been since I was a young man, and say that like it really made me feel for like what we've lost with the way movies are filmed now. Like it just looked gorgeous. Like it looked beautiful. Like it's all shot at night, but it's these vivid sort of like neon colors too, and the staging was gorgeous. Like it's just the sort of thing that you don't see much these days with digital photography. But if you want to see something just sort of like soak in the atmosphere, I really enjoyed it.
Sounds good.
Cool.
I actually have two movies to recommend because I've seen. Yeah, I know I've seen a lot of movies, but both of them I really loved, so I can't. I don't want to save either of them. I hope that's okay. Check the rule book. Is it allowed?
Well,
I don't care. I'm going to go ahead.
To write one, so yes.
Are you a golden retriever?
Depending on my personality test. So the first movie I'm going to recommend is as of this moment, my favorite movie of the year. It's the new movie from Joachim Trier, Sentimental Value. Love it so much. I'm a huge fan of his Oslo trilogy. And while this isn't, I guess, technically part of that, it feels like a natural progression of the themes that are in those movies. It is this beautiful story about a father and daughter who are estranged. The father's a filmmaker who wants to make one more project, and his daughter is an actress who has, let's say, a lot of resentment toward her absentee father, who's frankly kind of a piece of shit. And it's Joachim Trier has a way of taking themes and ideas that seem like they're very serious and kind of boring, and making it kind of light and light and fun, and makes those emotional moments really hit. And I found it to be really beautiful, and it's a really fun movie, and it's got some great performances from Stellan Skarsgård, of course, and Renata Reinsve. And Elle Fanning's great in it, and of course Anders Danielsen Lee manages to sneak his way in there and doesn't have too many terrible things happen to him this time, which is unique for Joachim Trier movies. I really loved it. It's great. And I also got a chance to go to Lincoln Center to catch a matinee screening, which meant I was there with a lot of very old people, of Spain's offering for the Academy Awards a movie called Serrat, which is a kind of like What If Wages of Fear was held at a rave in the deserts of Morocco, where a middle-aged father drags his young son to this rave because he's searching for his daughter who has gone missing, and he has reason to believe that she is at this rave. And he continues to follow leads kind of deeper into the desert, and putting himself and his son into greater danger. And a lot of the cast are non-actors who were like handpicked from like the rave scene. And so you have these really interesting performances from some, like, I would just say interesting kind of like looking people. And it felt very natural. And the sound design is incredible. It's all shot in the deserts of Morocco, so it's gorgeous. And then of course the way it incorporates like dance music is really interesting too. And it was really fun when my friend who I went to see the movie with was in the bathroom at the after the movie, and then she heard an older lady be like, "I'm over raves," which is great. So Serrat, it's great.
Is it my turn to recommend a movie?
I got some more.
Okay.
Martian.
I'm going to recommend a movie that I just saw recently, and it's not the greatest movie in the world, but I had a lot of fun watching it. It's a Samuel Fuller movie from 1950 called The Baron of Arizona, which stars Vincent Price, and it's very loosely based on a true story of this guy who in the right before Arizona was a state in the late 19th century, this guy forged a bunch of documents because he was he found a woman, and he said, she's the last heir of this baron who had a Spanish land grant that by law has to be recognized by the United States, and it covers all of Arizona. And he had gone to all this trouble to basically like turn part of the U.S. territories into his own personal kingdom and try to get it through the courts with all these forged documents. And he came very close to actually doing it. And again, this movie version of it is. I think they changed every single fact in the entire thing, other than the names of the people involved. But Vincent Price is really fun in it. There's some really fun scenes where he's like, "Yeah, I guess I just got to be a monk for 3 years in Spain so I can get access to this one document I need to forge." And it's a short, tight movie. It starts out a little slow, but it's got a lot of fun to it. And it's called The Baron of Arizona. And is it an amazing movie? No, but there's, like I said, there's a lot of fun stuff, and it's a fun story. So I would recommend it if you want to watch like I did. I was like, I want to watch an old movie that I have not seen I'll watch it relatively quickly and it'll be fun. And this was exactly what I needed. So that's what I watched. Alonso, what about you? What movies about barons have you seen?
Barons not at the moment, a little slack on that front, but I'm going to take a page from Stu and recommend two movies.
Do it.
One of them is the new one from Max Walker Silverman, who had a film a couple years ago called A Love Story with Dale Dickey. This film is rebuilding, and like most movies nowadays, it stars Josh O'Connor. And he plays a guy in Colorado who's there are fires in the hills that displace him from his land and some of his neighbors as well. So they all wind up in kind of like a FEMA trailer camp trying to figure out what to do next. He has a young daughter that he is jointly raising with his ex-wife, played by Megan Fahey. And her mom is played by Amy Madigan, giving another great performance this year that is not Aunt Gladys. But it's a really beautiful and quiet movie about people and the land, and about sort of, people at turning points in their lives and trying to figure out, what they're going to do next. And a film that is also, quiet and beautiful and very much about people in nature is Train Dreams, which is on or coming to Netflix. But if you have the chance to see it in theaters, I really recommend that you do, because it is one of the most gorgeous films of this year. It stars Joel Edgerton as a guy who, in the early 20th century, kind of travels to go work in like lumber camps to like sort of clear out the forests in the Pacific Northwest as the railroads are coming in. He gets married to Felicity Jones. They have a young child, and he's got like his home life with them, but also kind of going off to do these jobs, and things happen to them in their lives. And both of these films, they're of the kind of Terrence Malick, Kelly Reichardt school of like not a ton of dialogue and
fast action, pulse pounding.
Exactly. Yes, the Cray edited in a blender. I really,
Terrence Malick, best from Crank series.
So I really love both of these movies. They're among my favorites of this year, and I hope people check them out.
I went into a reverie, like imagining a Terrence Malick Crank, where it's all shot at golden hour, and
beautiful.
Yeah.
Haunting.
Thank you, Alonso, for torturing us yet again.
It's what I do. Thank you for having me back.
You should certainly plug again if there are things you would love to
plug your book again. Plug your book again, Alonso.
Yes. The book is Have Yourself a Movie Little Christmas, revised and updated. It is out now. It is in stores everywhere, ideally. It's certainly at online booksellers. I can guarantee you'll find it there. Go bug your library. Get them to get a copy too. Why not? You can also pick up my book, Hollywood Pride, that I did with TCM and Running Press. That's still out there in the world as well. Read my stuff at The Film Verdict, and check me out on the podcast Linoleum Knife with my husband Dave White. We just hit our 15th anniversary.
Oh yeah.
We're not at Flophouse level, but we're part of the old guard. You can hear me on Maximum Film here on the Maximum Fun Network. I'm also on Breakfast All Day with Christy Lemire. It's a YouTube show, but we also do a podcast, and I pop in regularly at the Deck the Hallmark podcast to talk about Christmas movies on the regular. So yes, go get sick of my voice.
It's
we've all been guests on Maximum Film, right? Yeah,
I believe you have.
Yes. Yeah. And Linoleum Knife is. I just want to make a special Linoleum Knife. Linoleum Knife. Linoleum Knife. I want to make a special plea for is just. It's such a great podcast. I love listening to it, and it's such a. I find it is like the perfect mixture of like intellectual and cozy. Like it's like there's something very cozy about it, but also I come away from it always with like an idea or a recommendation or something from it that I hadn't thought of before and wouldn't have known about otherwise. So I really treasure it.
Thank you, Elliot. I appreciate it.
Well, as long as we're thanking people, we should thank Alex Smith, our producer. He goes by the name Howell Dottie all over the internet.
He sure
Alex
does.
Came up to see our Chicago live shows, and it was both a delight to see him, and he was a big help at the shows.
He got me way too drunk the night before. I blame Alex exclusively.
Yeah, you had no hand in that.
You were led astray.
So thank you, Alex.
How would Stuart know? Stuart doesn't have a lot of experience with alcohol.
I'm just baby.
Oh, Stu is baby. Okay.
Yeah, Stu is baby. Yeah.
And thank you, of course, to Maximum Fun, the home of our show, the home of Maximum Film, the home of a lot of great shows. Check them out over at MaximumFun.org. But for this episode of The Flophouse, I've been Dan McCoy.
I'm Stuart Wellington.
I'm Elliot Kalin, author of Joke Farming, How to Write Comedy and Other Nonsense on store shelves now. I should have mentioned it.
And we've been joined by
Alonso Duralde.
Bye.
A Merry Christmas Martian to us all.
And a Martian New Year.
Slowly gotten better at finishing the show.
It's only taken us almost 2 decades.
One of these days, we're going to nail it.
Much like people in both of your households, I have a cold, so my fucking things up. Energy is a little low.
Yeah, you can hear my throat doesn't feel so good. Yeah.
Should I go drink a bunch of NyQuil so I can match your energy?
That'd be great. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what I'm looking for on my phone. Let's just start the show.
Are you DMing with anybody? we
No,
should know about?
I think I was subconsciously like, I'm going to call up the stuff I'm going to need later in the show, but that's so far ahead. Anyway.
Yeah, later is not now, by definition.
You've never said anything truer. Okay.
They call me the tautologist, Batman.
Maximum Fun
A worker-owned network
of artist-owned shows.
supported
directly
by you.